Imagine you want to start a business today. You have an idea, you design a product, and you are excited to sell it. But before you rush to the market, there is one important question you must think about. That is, will this product last forever or will it change over time? Many people assume that once a product is introduced into the market, it will continue selling forever. But in reality, markets do not work that way. Customers' needs may change, technology improves, competition becomes intense, and better alternatives emerge. Because of this, every product has a lifespan. Just like we human beings or even a business idea, every product goes through a journey. A beginning, a period of growth, a peak, and sometimes a decline. This way of thinking is what leads us to product life cycle, that is in short, PLC. The product life cycle is a marketing concept that explains the journey a product goes through from the moment it enters the market until the time it leaves the market. This journey happens in stages, and at each stage, sales, profit, customer behavior, and marketing decisions changes. In simple terms, the product life cycle helps a business answer one critical and important question. Where is our product right now, and what should we do about it? Understanding PLC helps businesses avoid panic when sales drop, avoid wasting money on dying products, and know when to improve or replace a particular product. To understand PLC properly, we need to see it as human beings. Just like humans are born, grow, reach adulthood, and eventually age up, products also go through similar stages in the market. These stages are the introduction stage. Here we mean by the birth of the product. We have growth, that is the youth stage, maturity, that is the adulthood, and also the last one, which is the decline stage, as we all know to be the old age, when we are comparing that to human beings. Looking at the diagram, we have two axes. You could see that on the y-axis, we have the sales. On the x-axis is the time frame of the product, and the slope indicates the sigmoid curve. Also, as we marketers call it, the PLC curve, which represents how a product, sales, or adoption changes over time across the four stages. Each stage requires different decisions and strategies. And to make it sound practical, I will be using a couple of products like the Kodak camera film. We can mention a lot of products that started well, but they couldn't survive for long. We can talk about the Nokia 360 and also the BlackBerry phones. At the first stage is the introduction stage, here referring to as the birth of the product. The introduction stage is when a product is launched into the market for the first time. At this point, the product is new, unfamiliar, and untested. Customers do not fully understand it, and many may be hesitant to buy it. Sales are usually low during this stage because awareness is still building. The business therefore spends a lot of money on advertising, promotion, distribution, and educating customers about the product. Because of these high costs, profits are often very low or even negative. Only a small group of customers, known as innovators or early adopters, are willing to try the product at this stage. The main goal of marketing at the introduction stage is awareness creation and understanding. The business is simply telling the market this product exists, and this is the problem it solves. When Kodak introduced photographic film in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it was a revolutionary product. Photography was new, expensive, and only few people understood how it worked. Sales were low at first, and Kodak invested heavily in educating the market. Their famous idea was simple. You press the button and we do the rest. Also, think of it as a new YouTuber. Mostly we put in enough effort in growing, but only few people know of the channel. That part becomes the introductory stage. Many products fail at this stage because customers do not accept them. If a product survives the introduction stage, it moves to the next phase, that is the growth stage. The growth stage begins when customers start accepting the product. People begin to talk about it, recommend it to others, and trust the brand. Sales increases rapidly and profit starts to grow. But however, success attracts attention. Competitors notice the product's performance and introduce similar or improved products. As a result, competition becomes stronger during this stage. To remain competitive, businesses may improve product quality, add new features, expand distribution channels, or strengthen branding. As cameras became more popular, Kodak film entered the growth stage. More people began taking photos for memories, journalism, and advertising. Also, sales grew rapidly, profit increased, and Kodak became a dominant brand worldwide. At this stage, Kodak film was trusted and widely accepted. At the growth stage, the focus of marketing shifted from simply creating awareness to differentiation and brand building. The business is no longer saying the product exists, but rather it's now communicating that its product is good and better than the available alternative that customers have. This stage is very important because the strategic decisions made here are improving quality, strengthening the brand, and responding to competition, and also determine how long the product will continue to perform successfully in the market. After knowing the growth stage, we can now move on to the maturity stage. Here we are talking about the peak performance and intense competition that the product may go through. The maturity stage is when the product reaches its highest level of sales. Most potential customers already know the product, and many have purchased it. Market growth slows down because the market is now saturated. You are not the only person selling in the market, so we should understand that this stage is where competition becomes very intense. Many similar products now exist in the market, and businesses fight hard to protect their market share. But to stay competitive, companies reduce prices, run frequent promotions, and invest heavily in advertising. Even though sales remain high, profits may begin to decline because marketing and operational costs increases. For Kodak film, this was the stage where the product reached its peak. Almost everyone who owned a camera used film, and Kodak controlled a large share of the global market. Sales were still high, but growth had slowed because the market was already saturated. Competition then increased, yet Kodak remained strong due to its brand reputation and worldwide distribution. What we should know that at this stage, marketing efforts shift from attracting new customers to retaining existing ones. Businesses focus on keeping loyal customers by improving packaging, offering discounts, making small product upgrades, or finding new ways for customers to use the product. Although the product is at its strongest during maturity, it is also at its break stage. A business that becomes too comfortable at this stage may fail to notice changes in technology or customer preferences, and once the market shifts, the product can quickly lose relevance. Lastly, we talk about the decline stage, that is falling demand and decision. The decline stage occurs when sales and profits begin to fall steadily. This can happen due to technological advancement, changing customer preferences, new substitute products, or market saturation. Customers begin to move away from the product, and retailers may stop stocking it. Marketing becomes less effective, and maintaining the product becomes costly. At this stage, businesses must make strategic decisions. They may choose to improve the product, target a small niche market, reduce costs, and continue selling, or completely withdraw the product from the market. The decline of Kodak began with the rise of digital cameras and smartphones. Customers no longer needed film because photos could be taken, stored, and shared digitally. Demand for camera film dropped sharply. Despite being aware of digital technology early, Kodak failed to adapt quickly. Then eventually, Kodak film became irrelevant to the mass market. Not all products disappear completely at this stage. Some continue to exist for specific uses, while others are replaced by newer and better versions. After knowing all these stages, we can now emphasize on why the product life cycle is important for marketers, entrepreneurs, businesses, and also students. The product life cycle is important because no product stays successful forever. What works during the introduction stage may not work during the maturity stage or decline stage. PLC therefore helps businesses plan long-term strategies, understand changes in customer behavior, decide when to invest or withdraw, also avoid wasting resources, and lastly, know when to innovate. It also helps marketers align products, price, promotion, and distribution decisions with the current stage of the product. The product life cycle is not just a classroom theory, but we should know that it is a way of thinking about markets and change. It teaches businesses that survival depends on adaptation, innovation, and timing. As this lesson comes to an end, it is important to remember that products do not fail suddenly. They fade when businesses fail to respond or change. Understanding the product life cycle helps businesses prepare, adapt, and remain competitive. Hi, I am Jay, and welcome to Jay's Marketing Consult. If you enjoyed this lesson, kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment down below, and also stay tuned for the next lesson.